Hi, this is Zia and this is
Kamana, and welcome to Holistic Nomads TV,
where ancient wisdom and modern science can help you to have more clarity and energy in your life. Okay, today we are going to talk about first aid home remedy for urinary tract infection. So this is a brand new episode as well. Usually we do all of this half an hour to 1 hour class. Now we're trying to make something that is quick but full of wisdom gem from Kimana to you.
Zia's always trying to make it quicker and shorter and get it out there for everyone. Some people like it quick. Sometimes I like the big ones, the full story.
Okay, so this specific episode is inspired by my regular imbalance, which is the UTI or urinary tract infection. And then there was one moment where, it was so much pain, and then I just had this home remedy that is so cheap but it's relief so instantly.
Very effective for so many people.
And it's natural and it's cheap and it's so good. And then what I have in my mind at that time was like, wow, I imagine many people don't actually know about this. Instead of they need to go through the pain and need to see the doctor and eat medication and blah, 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 and blah, blah, and blah, blah. So I'm like, Kimo, why don't we do this? Like a new episode of First Aid Home Remedy for specific imbalance, and he agreed.
Here we go.
Okay, so let's talk about UTI itself first. What is urinary tract infection?
Basically, it's an infection involving a bacteria, a fungus, or a virus that's inside the urinary tract. Could be the bladder, kidneys, in this region of the body. Cystitis is its medical term.
Yeah, so it usually involves pain, burning.
Depends on the type of urinary tract infection. They're the most common symptoms, is some form of burning sensation or irritation, some itching down here, heat, and sometimes pain.
Yeah, for me, usually pain, and then it felt like I wanted to pee, but it's nothing coming out. So there's that sensation wanting to pee, but nothing really out there.
Yeah.
It's so freaking annoying.
Irritation. Yeah.
Irritation. Yeah. So you say that is actually, it's for men and women, both gender experiencing that.
They can both have it, but it's much more likely to happen with women. There's a few reasons there. One of them is because the urethra, the tube which carries urine, is shorter, so it's easier for there to be bacteria that moves up the tube towards the bladder. Also because the proximity of the vagina to the anus and other areas is closer, so it's easier for bacteria to go inside.
Okay, so let's go through this two-step Ayurvedic treatment, which is, of course, we always need to find out what is the root cause.
Yeah, we always start to look for the cause first. The primary treatment of Ayurveda is first find the cause and remove that. And whenever we're looking for the cause within an imbalance, we first think of the doshas. Which dosha is most likely involved? So urinary tract infection could be caused by all three doshas. So we'd have to look at the signs and the symptoms and what's different about this person's urinary tract infection to someone else's. If it's vata that's causing it, it's more likely that there is dryness, that there's been a deficiency of urine production, that they haven't been drinking enough fluids or water, that the body's a bit exhausted, and because of that exhaustion, the nervous system's not functioning as well, there's not as much lubrication, the guidance in the region of movement is not working as well. If pitta is involved, then there's going to be a much stronger heat reaction, and usually because bacteria are part of the infection, pitta is involved to some degree in most infections. So in the case of pitta, there's going to be more burning, more heat, more infection, more irritation, more fever type symptoms that may go on. And in the case of kapha, the urine becomes very cloudy, it becomes thicker. There's more blockage within the system. There could be small stones or other things that are moving through the urinary system that the infection is building around. Kapha would be more to do with the blockage. And you may see those symptoms being more systemic, vata, pitta or kapha symptoms across the whole body. If it is more of one of those doshas, then you'd start to look through the causes associated with those doshas. So you might get lifestyle causes. Vata could be related to exhaustion and late nights. Pitta could be related to working too hard and irritation and anger. So you'd look at these possible lifestyle causes as well.
or Vata relates to how forgetful we are to drink.
How forgetful to drink the water, that's right. You've got to get it into you regularly. Sometimes timers are good to remind people.
Yeah, and then there's also like certain substance like food that causing it more.
Primary causes with food is coffee. Coffee dries the system, tends to aggravate Vata within the bladder, it aggravates the nervous system and the functional force that controls the urinary tract. It's also quite heating, which aggravates the likelihood of some form of burning sensation, some pitta aggravation there. It's very acidifying, and a lot of urinary tract infections thrive in an acidic environment. Also meats, sugars and alcohol, all three of these will increase heat, increase pitta, increase the chance of infection, and especially alcohol will dry out the body and the system.
Well, that sounds like a very typical normal diet.
For many people it may be. I don't know if it's typical normal. Coffee, meat, sugar, alcohol. Didn't have them yesterday.
That's me, because you're not the common man.
Yeah.
So let's go into the therapy itself, the treatment that you will recommend to people, and specifically on the first aid home remedy that people can just get it in their kitchen.
First one, sodium bicarbonate. People use it in baking. It's sometimes called bicarb soda, the same thing. And it is very alkalizing. It comes out through the urinary system when you take it internally, and it generally stops an infection straight away, bringing it to such an alkaline environment in the urinary tract that the infection can't thrive and grow, gives more time for your immune system to get in there. So the dose for that is small, just half a teaspoon in at least a glass of water, and you want to drink lots of water afterwards as well, like a good 6 glasses of water. You really want to flush the system through if you're using this bicarb soda. There's a few things to be aware of. Because it's so alkalizing, it will put out your stomach acids that are in your stomach. So you can't have it close to a meal. Ideally at least 2 hours after a meal, and wait for another hour or at least for it to move through as well. Some people say 2 hours before you'd eat anything. So take it away from meals. Use this to flush the system. If it's not gone after one dose, you can have another dose. So you can have 2 in each day.
Maximum dosage?
Depends on the person. I wouldn't use it a lot with Vata types. Over time it tends to alkalize and affect their digestive system. Pitta could take it a lot more. Some people have even used it as a regular daily treatment for Pitta. I wouldn't recommend that all the time.
Cool. Foods. What foods would be beneficial for them?
The foods. Celery, parsley and watermelon are great foods that really help to flush the urinary system and work through there. Also lots of water we'd work with, and cranberry juice is a remedy they've used for a long time. I've personally used it with quite a few women, the cranberry juice. I haven't found it to be as quickly effective as the sodium bicarbonate, so I add it as like a side thing, and I don't take them together because they affect the urinary system in different ways. So it's not sodium bicarbonate with cranberry juice. It's one at one part of the day and another at another part of the day.
Take it easy.
That's right, yeah.
And then herbs, is there any particular
herbs? Simple home herbs I'd go for is coriander seed. It's a gentle diuretic and it keeps flushing out that system. Also the coriander herb itself is wonderful for the urinary system. These can be taken long term without any fear of aggravation, so they'll likely prevent it from happening. Fennel seeds also wonderful for the urinary system. They help to balance the internal hormones for women too. So if there's some relationship to getting the urinary tract infection at a certain time of your menstrual cycle, then the fennel seeds could be particularly useful for that. And colloidal silver is also an alkalizer and antibacterial that works inside the body. You'd be taking very small doses, be really aware to read what is the dilution of the colloidal silver product that you have and what's recommended for internal use. You can overdo colloidal silver and be in a hospital. You need the right amount for that to work well. And my favorite Ayurvedic herb for it, the Sanskrit is called Gokshura. Its botanical name is Tribulus terrestris. It's wonderful for the urinary system. It works with both Vata and Pitta, with the two most common doshas for a urinary tract infection. And it has like a mucilage, slimy component that protects the urinary tract and stops the bacteria from being able to get in as it pulls out the excess Pitta from the system. I've used it with a lot of people. I find it to be a great herb that can be used long term as a preventative, because it doesn't just diuretic and pull things out and dry the body like coffee would. It helps to lubricate the system while it helps to pull things out. So that mucilage oily component is very counterbalancing to its diuretic properties.
Yeah. I can speak from experience because this is one of my favorite herbs that I drink almost every single day, especially when we live in Bali when it's so freaking hot and UTI is just so prone. I'm prone to it. And then the way you recommend me to drink it is to basically put the herbs in water. So usually, what is that? One big pot of water with 3 tablespoons of a mixture between Gokshura, Sariva, what else? Kuduchi.
Fennel seeds.
And fennel seed as well. And then boil that for like 20 minutes. And then you drink that. I drink that basically for the rest of the day as my water intake. So we will put the link below on where to get these herbs from Kimana's recommended Ayurvedic herbs supplier. And then the last one, what about kombucha, kefir, like good bacterial thing? Would that help?
No, the bacterial state of your digestive system has a very direct reflection of the bacterial state of the vagina. And if the digestive system is not at its good health, then it will really affect the health of the vagina. So these are very connected. So in order to prevent regular urinary tract infections, we would start to look at the digestive system and see, is it healthy? And we're about to do a little class on farts and go into detail on, is that how can we improve the digestive process and be aware of the symptoms there? So yes, taking good bacteria can help with that. I wouldn't necessarily use kombucha as a regular thing because it has a lot of acids inside it. It's fermented, that could be heating. Yes, small amount of it once a week could be great, but I'd be looking at a good bacteria compound with many different bacterias in it for about a month period. And you probably want to see if there is a strong bacteria that's living inside the digestive tract. Something like an organic acids test may be able to do this to see, how is my bacteria? What is my body producing internally? And then you could adjust the treatment accordingly.
Okay. And of course, if this happens so regularly, then people, clients, whatever, they want to talk to health practitioners for further assessment.
Even if it doesn't happen regularly, every infection is a serious thing. And if it remains and goes on for a longer period of time, it could damage things internally. It's not just a little heat burning in your urinary tract. It could create permanent challenges where a woman might not be able to have a baby. So just because we've exposed a bunch of different natural remedies here doesn't mean that you just try them blindly at home without the supervision of a health professional. So I think it's always important to consult and talk with health professionals. These are general advice that you could use in conjunction with a health professional.
If you would like to book a session with Kimana for his holistic health consultation, below there is a link to be on the waiting list when he's finally available when you're not teaching.
Yeah.
Anything else you would like to add?
Great to share with you today. Look forward to sharing in the future.
Thank you.
For those who would like to help others heal holistically, or just wishing to have more control in their own self-care, you can check out the programs I've created on Ayurvedic.com. I brought together some of the world's best health experts, teaching people what I consider are the 6 most important branches of holistic healing. Hope to share with you there, and you can share with the world too. All the best.
Now, theory without practice is wasteful because hearing leads to forgetting, teaching leads to remembering, and applying leads to mastering. That's why we will encourage you to leave a comment below and share one learning insight from this video. Also, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you will be the first to hear about our future educational videos. And for more resources on health and healing, check out our website holisticnomads.com. There you will find articles, quizzes on Ayurveda, loads of free downloads, and of course, our future online events and courses. Thank you so much for watching. We hope it's been beneficial for you. Hope to see you next week. Bye!
Come on, and welcome to Holistic Nomads TV. The place to be is the moment.
No.